I don't do that shit. We just get it. Just get it how we get it.
Get it in.
Yes, sir. All right. So are we officially live now? All right. So had some technical difficulties at first, man. But look, I ain't gonna give the devil the victory. All right,
That's
you know
right.
something incredible is about to happen right now. So I got my main man in the house here. Got some family up in here. My man goes by
Yeah.
many names, TLA, Tajaya, but I call him Blacktastic. All right. Got him in the house here. Writer, director, star of the new, soon to be talked about, like both talked about YouTube movie in October, and that is What Have I Done? This has been in the making for like over a year now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I bet it was some obstacles to get over that. We're gonna get to that in a second. So real quick, man, introduce yourself, plug in your channel, and then we're gonna get to it, bro.
Yo, Blacktastic Media is in the house. Those that know me, I try to cover everything from movies, not a whole lot of television, but since streaming has gotten popular, I talk about that. Writer, director, I do documentaries. I venture in the last 4 years, I've been dabbling with short films, trying to make like a little history, so I can gather up some funds and hopefully one day make a future feature film. But this is a good practice for me. But other than that, man, I'm a man who loves sports, music, the whole nine. And over the last few years, met some incredible people online, man. You're one of them. Man, we connected a while back. We both have a love for black exploitation films and things of that nature. And man, it feels good to be here. The film drops October 27th. I'll release it to the press, some YouTubers, and some critics to go ahead and jump on it now. Let me know what you think. Build up momentum going into Halloween season to drop my next film. What have I done?
No doubt, man. No doubt. I appreciate you taking the time and talk to me, man. So today, this interview, man, this is about you. You know what I'm saying? This is about you, giving you your flowers, man. And I just
All right.
seeing your growth as a filmmaker, as a content creator, like right before my eyes, bro. It's like, it's an honor to see how far you've come as an artist and as a filmmaker. And I've been there like the whole way watch you, man. So
That's
when
right.
you do blow up, I'm gonna be one of those people in the background, like, yo, I was there, yo, I was the day one. I was the day one, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, man. So I'm gonna get right into it, man. So this is like my first interview, bro. So excuse me if I'm a little kind of all over the place here.
Oh, no problems,
Yeah.
man.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. All right. So when did you decide that you wanted to be a filmmaker? And did you have any kind of film training? Like, did you go to film school or anything like that? Like, when was it that you said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do?
I knew right out of high school I wanted to get behind the camera and make film. I've always been in front of the camera my whole life, dancing and doing stuff. But kind of like being smart and also being a jockey. Everybody sees you as a football player, basketball player, but no one knows that you're smart academically. That was me. Man, I love some of the nerdy stuff, learning about film, studying a film. So my first year of college, I took a film class, and I took a couple of them. And once I got my hands on the equipment, learned how to edit, it came natural. And my teacher said, you got a gift, young man. You might want to dabble in that. And you have a voice in case you want to get in front of the camera. You can go into commentating, doing stuff. So that's where it first started. And then growing up in the 80s, of course, Steven Spielberg had a huge, huge impression on me. I look like I lost you, brother, but I'm gonna keep talking. And that first year of college, the few classes that I took about film school, I learned all I could from my professors and gabbled and grabbed all the information I possibly could and made it my own. And during that time, when I was in college, Spike Lee was coming into his own. So here I am learning how to do the proper way, supposedly to do film. But I'm kind of a Renaissance man like Spike Lee. So like, for instance, they teach you how to storyboard. They say, well, if you're going to be a director, you also have to be an artist. You have to learn how to draw. I'm like, for what? Well, you got to storyboard, TJ, you got to draw everything out. I'm like, whatever. So I learned the technical aspects, but then I took it into my own way. Back then was camcorders, 8 millimeter. But once I got into writing books and stuff like that and got a following, when I came to YouTube, it was kind of like publishing. Once it went digital, it opened up for people who look like me and you. Because black folks, we couldn't survive in Hollywood making movies. I mean, Spike Lee can contest to that. So once I got on YouTube, I decided to take my whole company digital. I was talking to some close friends with me. I want to get into some filmmaking, start doing some skits, anything to get my fingers wet. And once you have a following on YouTube, there's your audience. I don't need a theater. I don't need to try to sell tickets. I don't need a red carpet. I'm going to create, produce, and put it out there. And I always felt that let the audience judge. That'll determine if you're made for this or not. And that's basically it, man, how I got started in making films.
Yeah, nah, no doubt, man. Yeah, we're definitely in a different time where you don't need the Hollywood system to get your name out there now with social media. And, with that, like, it's easier. No, we're not saying easier, but it's, more than ever, you have that opportunity now that you wouldn't have back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the names that have come out of YouTube. Issa Rae,
Right.
Justin Bieber, Soulja Boy, just to name a few, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely, man. So speaking of Spike Lee, I know that you said that's your favorite director and he's one of your influences. So are there any other influencers, any other filmmakers that influence your game? Like, okay, I'm gonna take a little bit from that director. I'm gonna take a little bit from his style. You know what I'm saying? Besides Spike Lee.
Antoine Fuqua, I love his work. Definitely Steven Spielberg. One thing I like about Steven Spielberg, I seen an interview with him, and he says, you know what? People who are in Broadway don't get along with me because I don't write movies. I just direct. And I expect you when it comes to set, we're not doing a whole lot of takes. Steven Spielberg said, that's what the trailer's for. You go on the trailer and you rehearse and have everything ready. So when you come to the set, I'm just filming. And Steven Spielberg's got to be the greatest storyteller alive just using film. He don't need dialogue. And of course, Alfred Hitchcock, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. I love that dude because he scores his own movies,
Right.
And the late great John Singleton was a big influence, being from the LA Compton area, making films and incorporating hip hop musicians to be stars in his films. I was like, man, that's dope. Mario Van Peebles, he didn't make a whole lot of movies, but the ones that he made in the 90s was just, I said, man, people who look like this can make it happen. And those are all of my inspirations, and maybe a few more, but definitely those brothers
well,
there.
you know what? That's a dope ass list to take from, man. Like all those filmmakers you named, I'm a big fan of all of them. And but I know it's not a lot of horror directors because right now your genre is mostly horror, so it's surprising that there's not a lot of horror directors in there that influence your game because you're obviously you're good at what you do, man. Like every movie that I've seen of yours, got better, and each one gives me that one scare where I'm like, okay, you know what? I challenge myself. I'm not gonna let him scare me. I'm not gonna let you get me with a jump scare every fucking time you get me with it, bro.
man, when you grow up being a scaredy cat, and we grew up, let's face it, in the best era of horror films, The Shining, The Exorcist, Amityville Horror, Carrie, It's Alive. Remember that one with the little baby in the crib thing walking around?
Right.
So I know what scares me. So it's easy to scare modern day people because I've seen the best. Alfred Hitchcock, all of them, Clive Barker, you name it. So, and horror is the easiest thing to film on a low budget. You don't need special effects a whole lot. You need some people who don't have to be necessarily the greatest actors. All you gotta do is act scared or play dead. And so if you know how to create atmosphere and creepiness, and I'm really good at that, horror is just the easiest thing to do, and most people like to be scared. So my venture into filmmaking, that's the way to go. I'm not gonna try to do a George Lucas Star Wars movie because I wouldn't make it. or Quentin Tarantino writing something with all this long dialogue. And
Right.
no, I believe in the visual, and I believe in what you see is what you get. And if you can tell a story, because matter of fact, you motivated me one time when The Comforter came out. You say, you know what, brother? I watched that movie the second time with the volume down, and I still knew what was going on. So if you can tell a story cohesively without dialogue, that's it. And people only get scared what they hear and what they see. So it's easy to do horror films.
Right, right. No, well, I forgot I gave you that feedback, man. But
Yeah.
way to go, Rashad. Okay, I want to acknowledge some people here that just showed up. So we got Exploitation Reviews here.
What's
Okay,
up?
what's up, fam? We're actually collabing. I'm editing right now. We collab for Sugar Hill, the 1974 Sugar Hill. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be
That's gonna
dropping
be
that
dope.
sometime tonight or early tomorrow. So what's
Right
up,
on.
fam? Mike from Did You Z that's here. What's up, fellas? I'm so proud to also have received a screener for What Have I Done. I have to say, best movie yet. I'd be extremely shocked if it's not a big hit. For
Oh,
sure.
cool. That's high praise, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I've had an idea to make a short horror movie to scare the crap out of the audience for me. So seeing Blacktastic's work has only inspired me even more. All right, well, Mike, bring it, man. Bring
Definitely,
it.
Yeah.
Even though I have
we have the platform.
Well, even though I have a beef with Mike right now because he said that Heather Langenkamp's performance in Nightmare on Elm Street was not that good. So yeah, we're having a little battle in Messenger right now. Okay, Virgo Life is in the house.
That's right.
Yeah. You also drop your questions too. So I'm gonna be dropping questions, and anybody watching, drop
Definitely.
some questions as well. So Exploitation Reviews. Okay, first question: favorite horror director? Excuse me.
Right now, my favorite horror director, hands down, and this spans my whole life, and he's recently on the scene, man, Jordan Peele, because he knows how to scare people that look like me.
Okay.
Like some things in horror I can't relate to, like Halloween. I mean, I wouldn't be messing around outdoors with a psycho killer running around in mask. I'd be inside the house with the police. Or Friday the 13th, I don't go camping out in the woods without safeguards, so that wouldn't happen. But Jordan Peele got up under my skin, and hey, I went to an all-white wedding with a white girl one time. I was scared to death, man. I was scared to death. I could relate.
Wow.
I could relate, man. And and recently with the Nope movie, man, Black people, we chase dreams to try to make money, even though we have no business messing around with UFOs and stuff like that. So, man, Jordan Peele does it for me, definitely. But if I have to go old school, Alfred Hitchcock is still my favorite. Alfred Hitchcock, man, he just knew how to create atmosphere and pull you into a scene and make you invest in the characters before they get killed, or either they were the antagonist or protagonist. He made you feel for the character. So he's my greatest of all time, Alfred Hitchcock, and of course Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Okay, dope. All right, cool to the fools. What's up, fam? All right,
my man.
All right, in the house here. Okay, so all right. Okay, so I guess that's a perfect segue to my next question. So, okay, besides horror now, so far you've done what, 4 films, right? This is your fourth film. What have I done? Okay, so do you plan on venturing out into other genres other than horror, like drama or like an urban comedy or something like that? Or yeah,
you hit it on the head, man. Urban comedy. I'm talking to a couple of brothers right now. We're working on the script. Comedy is my favorite thing, and it's probably the second easiest thing to do besides horror. You don't need a big budget, man. Look at Friday, an instant classic, and a couple of brothers sitting on the porch. You have a couple of set pieces, and that's it. You just got to have a funny script and people who can deliver. So definitely, my next project, I'm working on something that's comedic. Working on also a romantic comedy, something small. And but man, I love all genres, but definitely comedy would definitely something I'm going to venture into real soon.
Well, actually, I feel the opposite. I feel like comedy is probably the hardest kind of movie to make because you just never what's funny to me may not be funny to you. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, farting in bathtubs, laughing my ass off. That's hilarious to me, you know. But to you, you'd be like, the fuck is, you know what I'm saying? So it's
That's
hard.
crass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to find what will like fortunately for Friday, you know, Cube told real hood stories. That's why, you know, all of us related to Friday because we've all experienced that, you know what I'm saying, coming to somebody's house and they have one thing and not the other, you know what I'm saying? We can all relate to that, you know, and so finding what's funny, what'll make people laugh, to me is a challenge. Like I think being a stand-up comedian is probably the hardest job there is because somebody's paying you to make them laugh. Like here's $20, make me laugh. And you're like, okay, why did you cross the road? You know, and you're sitting there making your own self laugh, like, that's funny to me. And they're looking at you like, motherfucker, get off the stage.
Yeah,
you know,
can't please everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I learned over the years, a lot of my life stories are funny. I had that little segment on YouTube called True Stories. As wild as it sounds, man, those stories is true, and they have people cracking up. And comedy is all about delivery and timing. So if you can get that down or hire some people to be in your movie, maybe they look funny or maybe they're comedically funny physically. Man, there's all different types of comedy, but if you can pull it all together, anything is possible, but it's definitely going to be a challenge.
Oh, for sure. Well, I recommend do what Cube did. Cube went to the comedy clubs. Back then, it was Def Comedy Jam. He just took the best of the best and was like, yo, you want to be in a movie for $5,000? You know, he grabbed Chris Tucker, Bernie Mac, Faison Love, John Witherspoon. It was like so many people in that movie, man. Just grabbed everybody, you know.
AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson. Yeah, so start hitting them comedy clubs up, man. Start grabbing them. Like, yo, you want to be in a movie?
Yeah, man. That's right.
Yeah. What's both of your most anticipated movie for the rest of 2022? Well, dog, this is about you, man. So, you know,
man, it's got to be Black Panther, and not for the reason because it's a superhero movie. I'm curious to see this movie. My man, I left him out as a favorite director, man. I love that brother, man. What is he going to do now that he lost the lead character? And I'm seeing all the rhetoric on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. People care more about the comic book hero than a man losing his life. And see, me, I don't read comic books, so I was on Chadwick Boseman's nuts. I said, man, this dude is great. So when we lost him, I remember telling my homeboy Cyrus, if I was the director, if I was in my man's shoes, I would have walked away from the project. I would have told Disney, hey, take me to court, sue me. I am not doing a part 2 without my man. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't. That's like losing Christopher Reeve after part 1. How are you going to make another Superman? You can't. You can't do it. So I'm curious to see it because for the influential influence it had on the first one was just groundbreaking. But I really want to see the movie, see what he can do to rectify this man's death, untimely death, and still make comic book heads happy. People like me who appreciate the Black experience. How is he going to further the story? So I'm just curious, man. That's my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. Black Panther.
No, look, I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. And I know somebody who knows somebody from inside source that says the movie is actually fucking epic. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of puts me at ease a little bit. He's like, bro, he says a lot of people are gonna be surprised, man. I know somebody that's actually, I don't know if they work for Disney or it's an inside source, but they say the movie is fucking incredible. You know what I mean? And
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
But dog, you can see from the trailers, man. Ryan Coogler, he's another one, bro. Each project he does, bro, he just gets better. The look of the film, like the scope of it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the first one was ill too, but you could tell this one is a lot more big, it's more grander, you know what I mean? And definitely looking forward to Wakanda Forever here. Okay, we got a couple more here. I have to say some of the best memorable comedy movies are Black comedy movies, and I wish there were more of them. Yeah. You know what's crazy? I seen Ice Cube say that he's been trying to get another Friday movie off the ground for a minute, and for some reason, New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers, they're not fucking with him. He says they don't get it, you know. So I guess he's trying to shop it around to someplace else, but I don't know if there's any legal stuff that's going to keep that from happening. Because I don't know if they own I guess they own the rights to the name or whatever, so I guess he can't take it anywhere else. I don't know how that works, but
oh yeah, that's right. I didn't think
yeah,
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he said Dual Line Cinema's not really fucking with him right now. I'm curious to see how they handle Black Panther
Well,
2
man,
expected things. Yeah.
what Q needs to do, man, what everybody's doing, go to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Eddie Murphy's on Netflix. You got
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Make it. I mean, what's the other dude, man? The Jewish dude.
Oh, Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Adam Sandler got a big contract. Not to mention Tyler Perry.
Right.
That's where people of minority descent need to go with their projects is Netflix, because that's the only stand-up comedies you see now is on Netflix. Any black comedian is on Netflix. So
I mean, yeah, I mean the product may not always be the best, but you know, like you said, you know, all the black talent is going to Netflix and they're getting that opportunity to make their movie without, you know, with little studio interference. You can tell, you know, because sometimes shit works, sometimes the shit doesn't work. They just say, here's $20 million, do what you want to do, you know.
Right.
And next thing you see Kevin Hart taking a shit on a bed. All right. All right. So all right, so right now, you're a, you know, guerrilla filmmaker. You know, you're wearing a lot of hats, writer, director, talent, you know what I'm saying, cinematographer. Okay, so when the time comes when you start getting bigger budgets, you can get a crew. Is there any particular area where you just want to just focus on, be like, okay, even though I could do all these things, but I really want to focus on this? Like, I know you have a passion for writing, and I know you like directors. So do you just want to say, okay, I just want to stick to just writing and directing, not so much in front of the camera? Like, you know, is there one thing that you want to, or a couple of things that you just really want to stick with?
Man, the main thing I want to do is direct. I'm the kind of person I believe in empowering people. If I get a dope ass script, I'm gonna trust the script and direct the hell out of it. That's my calling, is directing. Yeah, I can write, but after a while, writing your own material can get old. I mean, it happened to Spike Lee. Right. And when he finally took somebody else's script and redid it, he got his first Oscar with Black Klansman. So if I ever get the budget, any studio backing or anything like that, I want to be behind the camera solely, and I trust people. What a director does is hire the right people to do the right thing. An editor, you know, script. You want to get people to do wardrobe. I'm going to trust those people so I can focus on one thing, because, man, I love being behind the camera, man. I love it.
Cool. Yeah, I can tell too, man, because your shit is on point. So okay, so that's it for the questions as far as you as a filmmaker, right? But now I want to get into the meat of this shit. What have I done? So before I do that, I just want to play the trailer real quick, if that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just want to play the trailer. So I want y'all to see the trailer real quick, and then we're gonna get to what have I done. So just hold on, I'm gonna get that on right now.
All right, cool.
I can feel it. My blood is starting to boil. My vision has become blurred. A metamorphosis is coming once again.
That was the final trailer for What Have I Done? You know, I just thought about this shit while the trailer was on, bro. I didn't write this down, but I have to ask you, who wins in the fight, TLA Wolf or American Werewolf in London, in a straight up clash of the wolves, man? Who wins that one?
Damn, that wolf from American Wolf, he was big.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my wolf is more like a jaguar. He's quick and more nimble. So you take that into a fight, the person who's quicker, got more hands, usually wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with TLA. I'm gonna whip that ass.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. Good. Yeah, you can't hit what you can't catch, man.
That's right.
You know.
Stick and move, stick and move.
So why werewolves? Okay, well, what made you want to tackle, like, there's so many areas of horror that you could have went: possession, exorcisms, vampires, all that kind of stuff. Why werewolves?
Man, I wanted to do a creature feature because I grew up watching creature features. I never thought I can do one, but if I had to do one, werewolf is my jam. And it goes back 10 years ago when I wrote the short story, What Have I Done, in 3 separate books. There are 3 chapters in 3 different books. And then about a year and a half ago, I released it on YouTube and everybody was into it. I'm like, man, how could I pull that off? And me and you had a nice discussion. He goes, man, that's a dope concept. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about making it a movie. He goes, man, you should. In fact, you hit me up with, man, a werewolf in Compton. I'm like, that's dope. So you inspired me to push this forward. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I came up with a poster. I released it to the public, Werewolf in Compton. I was all proud and happy, and I was starting to work on the script, the treatment for it. And I'm from Compton, and all of my brothers were Crips, went to prison. They're all, ex-Crip members now. And my eldest brother, Lester, he's a big fan of mine, and we do a lot of the Compton stuff together, the documentaries. He goes, little bro, man, I gotta tell you, man, I don't feel good about the Compton thing. I'm like, what's up? He goes, man, because he's OG. He goes, man, I don't want to bring any reproach upon the Compton name. And doing a werewolf movie, man, it sounds like it's going to be campy. I'm like, no, man, it won't be campy. It's going to be scary and for real. He goes, man, people out here in the streets, man, they take Compton serious. I said, you know what, brother? You know what? I'm going to scratch the name. And I was pissed. He didn't have faith in his little brother. So I was like, you know what? I thought about the poem and the short story. I go, wait a minute, I got a script right here already written. I'm going to take that. I'm going to save a ton of money instead of me going to LA, hiring people. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be the leading star in the movie. That cuts my budget in half. I'm going to shoot it right here in Sacramento. And my brother made me so mad. It motivated me to make a dope ass werewolf movie without the Compton name. And now that it's out, he's like, damn. I said, imagine this exact same story taking place in Compton. He was like, man, brother, exactly. But hey, wherever you find motivation, that's where you do it. But man, werewolves are the dopest monsters. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When you got a chance to play 2 different people in one, that's a dope concept. The Incredible Hulk, stuff like that. I've always loved characters who's a feeble little man, but can transform into a beast and wreck shop.
Yeah, well, you're talking about divine intervention, because if you'd have stuck with the Werewolf in Compton, like, people may not have took it seriously. Like, okay, that does sound like something camp, something that you rented at Blockbuster, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, where they were just putting out anything, So What Have I Done is a more mysterious title, because it can mean anything, you know what I'm saying? So just the title alone, you're like, okay, what does that mean? And so the human psyche, we're intrigued now. Okay, I want to click on this. I want to see what the fuck, like, what have I done? What you mean what you did? I want to see what the fuck you did,
Right. And plus, there's already a movie, a short out called Werewolf in Compton, and man, it's raggedy. It's a spoof. Dude's a gang member turned werewolf. It's about 10 minutes long, and it is terrible, but it is funny. It's on YouTube. Just type in Compton and werewolf. I'm like, you know what? I think I made the right decision.
No, I'm gonna definitely look that up after we're done here.
Oh man!
I got a couple of comments. Cinematography looks great. Yeah.
Thank you.
The trailer is fire. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Okay, top 3 werewolf movies.
Oh, that's easy. American Werewolf in London is number 1. 2, I'm gonna say The Howling. 3, I'm gonna say Silver Bullet.
I agree. Yeah. Total. All in that order too, just like that.
In that order. And Unfortunately, and if I have to pick a fourth, I might say Wolfen, but I haven't seen that in so long. But I don't remember it being good as The Howling. But I remember that one movie called Wolfen, but it wasn't as quite as good as The Howling. And then, as an honorable mention, is not a movie; it's a short, man, Thriller. That werewolf scene. Matter of fact, I padded my werewolf off of that design because I wanted a werewolf to look. If you notice, the head kind of reminds you of American Werewolf in London, but the body. I said, I'm gonna do the Michael Jackson thing. I'm gonna have a human body, the hands and the face will be the werewolf, so he can run on two legs. So big influence on this movie was Michael Jackson's movie.
Yo, Q, what's up, bro? Took the words out of my mouth right here because I was gonna say fourth for me is Teen Wolf, even though it's a comedy. But I love to. I just showed my son that for the first time a few days ago. He loved it. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely Teen Wolf. Yeah, wait, and Q also helped you with some of the effects, right?
Man, let me tell you, man, while Q was in the house, Q, when after what I see him do with the Friday the 13th movie, we've been talking behind closed doors, man. I want to work with you. I want to work with you. We're going to do something. I said, man, I got an idea coming up because Q has a background in makeup. And he won a contest as a young dude doing that. I said, man, I want to bring you on. Originally, he was going to play the werewolf.
Yeah.
And this is where the budget got kind of ballooned. I said, I got to fly people in and everything. And it was just getting difficult. So he stayed on as an advisor. Cube was there from the very beginning of everything. The first shots I ever took, I emailed him. And we stayed in contact. He was like, man, looks dope. And he was sending me pictures and videos of potential werewolf costumes. And some are really pricey. Some of them look more like a zombie more than a werewolf. Like the face was cool, but it looks more like a zombie. So we was going back and forth. And when I finally found someone who could do the mask and the costume right, where you can open and close your mouth, I sent him a video. And he said, brother, that's dope. When I got Q's blessing on the werewolf, I knew the movie was done. But man, he's been there for every step, man. When I needed aerial shots and stuff, I went to Q. Or just to get his feedback, man, because he's in the industry and I trust his judgment, man. So it was cool to have that to fall back on. And he's a big reason why the movie looks the way it does.
Nah, definitely. Shout out to Q Reviews, man. Very talented brother, man. Talented brother. Like the thing that the only thing that blew, well, not the only thing, but the one thing that blows me away is that he was self-taught with the 3D effects that he does. Didn't go to school for it. You know, he just saw a couple of tutorials on YouTube and got it just like that. You know, of course he put in the work, but man, the stuff that he's able to do and not having to go to school for it, man, that's fucking amazing.
Q is the man.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's pretty good at reviewing movies too.
Yeah.
All right. Bad Moon is a fabulous werewolf film. I don't think I've ever seen Bad Moon.
I haven't seen that either.
Yeah,
I have to check that out.
Yeah, Bad Moon was fire. Oh, there we go. Okay. Look, if Q signs off on it, man, I gotta listen to. Except when it comes to A24, that's the only time I don't listen to his ass when he talks about A24. Stopping to say hi. Currently watching my Rams take on that, man.
Let me check the Cowboys score real quick.
Go ahead. I'm gonna read through some of these. Teen Wolf is super fun. Oh yeah, cheesy as hell, man. But I love that movie. And the Underworld franchise. Are you team vampire or team light? Or well, they were Likings. They weren't werewolves. I don't think they were like kind of like werewolves, but they were Likings. Gotta go with the Likings, man, because I always prefer werewolves over vampires anyway. Always wanted to help with the anyway. Oh yeah, man. Look, he did my intro for my channel. You know, my intro and my outro.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, Q always coming through, man. Shit, I think I need to buy you a drink. Brother
got mad talent, and like I said, man, slowly but sure, I'm trying to create a team of people because, man, if I ever get picked to do a project. I'm pulling my homies from the hood. Like I said, Q, he knows how to do CG. Anthony A. Perez has got to be one of the dopest editors on YouTube. You know, that brother can edit his ass off. And you, brother, is funny as hell. Look like you bring muscle with you. So, man, I'm trying to do something that incorporates all of us in the near future. Just to let you know. Just
Hey,
to
well,
let
look,
you know,
hey,
man.
hit me up, man. I'm usually available, man. I don't have a life right now, so hit me up.
All right.
For sure, man. So yeah, I gotta ask you. Okay, so going back to the movie now. As I'm watching it, right, I'm just looking at your shots, right? Like your shot selection is fucking crazy. So I have to ask you, do you storyboard or do you just come up with these shots like right there on the spot? Like, okay, I want to set the camera up here and get this, or did you actually storyboard all that? Like, how did you come up with those shots that you had?
Man, this is funny. I'm unconventional. I storyboard in my head. When I went to film
Okay.
school. They said, remember I told you, you have to be a director slash artist. You got to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that, man. I have a photographic memory. I can remember, like I drive to a location, I look it over, I'm like, okay, in my head, I do the finger thing. I go like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it stays up here. I don't draw nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I storyboard up here, but when I get to the set, man, I'm always coming up with new ideas live on the moment. So a lot of those shots you see are spare the moment shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I might lay down in the dirt, get the camera. Man, I do anything to get the perfect shot. I might get into some bushes with thorns and thickets and laying that bad boy to get this shot. And a lot of it is scripted up here, and the other half is made up on the spot.
That's
some of the
incredible,
best shots
bro.
in this movie was developed on the moment, man. Believe it or not.
That's incredible. Yo, that's definitely one of your biggest strengths. And don't be surprised if somebody sees this and want to hire you as a cinematographer for for a big movie, man, because I think that's definitely one of your biggest strengths, man, is your cinematography, your eye for getting great shots. Like I said, I could watch any of your movies with the volume down and still really enjoy it just looking at the shots
Oh,
that
thank
you
you.
got. You know what I'm saying? Very talented. Okay, so all right, next one is, like I said, you wear a lot of hats. So how difficult is it to go from director to now, okay, I have to step in the actor? So you're direct yourself. So it's like, okay, TLA, do this, 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 and this. Do you have to come over here? All right, do you have to do what the fuck you just said? Like, how difficult is that to switch from director to actor and vice versa?
Man, for this one, it was easy because I wrote the script, I wrote the poem, and I've always visioned a black person playing this role. And when I wrote the script, the dude looked like me. When I was envisioning it, the script was a little different, had a female involved and everything. But this was easy because I knew this character from top to bottom. Now, in the original treatment, this poem, he wasn't a policeman. All of that came later on. And once I see myself on film, you have an idea how to look. Like, I gave you an example. The opening scene when I'm driving in the car and I'm looking around, somebody said, man, you remind me of the Terminator. Man, you don't blink, you just be like, and you want to create something menacing without even saying anything. I'm like, a guy who's a half werewolf would act like that. And then I want to play matchmaker. Like, I got the gray beard, so I made sure my costume represented the same color. It's not a black haired werewolf. It's more silverish gray. So it all coincide, man. But directing myself is easy.
Okay.
Because I know exactly what I want as a director, and as an actor, I know exactly what I have to give to make that guy happy. So it was easy. No effort at all.
Man, I'm curious, what was Q laughing at? Probably something stupid, some crazy shit I probably said.
I don't know.
I probably said something crazy. What camera did you shoot on? Okay, that's a good question.
Man, I shot this on 5 different rigs. Every single one I used was all cell phones, except for one. I use an iPhone 11, an iPhone 13, 2 different type of iPhone 13, the iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Plus, whatever it's called, a regular iPhone 13, iPhone 11, iPhone 8, and my homeboy, Cyrus, dope-ass director, lives in Massachusetts. There's a scene in the movie that takes place in 1977. He shot that on a whole different type of camera that wasn't a cell phone to give it that grit. But man, everything I used was a cell phone, but mainly the 13, the 11, and the 8 I used for this film.
Damn, that tricked me because I thought you shot that like on a Canon, like one of those Canon XL type cameras.
Man.
So all that was on iPhones. That's crazy.
All of it.
That's crazy. All right, yeah, y'all. If y'all have any questions, yeah, drop them in, y'all. These are some good questions that y'all.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so next question I want to ask you, because usually, what's on the page usually turns out different than what's on the screen. So, how much of the final product did you take from the page? Like, did you change a whole lot from the script?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. Because the poem is still up. If you go to my my playlist and go to short stories, there's 9 different chapters in the original thing for What Have I Done. It's a totally different story. So I took 2 to 3 pieces of that and created a whole nother animal. Like the first couple of poems in the movie, I'm talking from the perspective of a human being knowing something is different about them. And the second half of the poems in the film, my voice is more menacing. I have more of a gravitas in my voice, and I'm talking from the point of view as a werewolf in the last 2 poems. I accepted my thing, but it's a totally different script. The whole undercover homicide, I made that up. The love interest, totally made that up. It's totally different from the poem. So the only thing I took from the original script are the 4 poems, but everything else, all the fillers, I wrote that on the spot.
Nice. Yeah, because there was a scene where it was a flashback scene that you had, where I guess it was you and your pops, right?
Yeah.
Is that your brother that played your father?
That's my homeboy Cyrus, man. We me and you, we never met in person, man. Me and him became homies when my first film came out back in the day. We've been talking, and when Sarah dropped, I said, man, forget this. Let's go ahead and exchange numbers and talk. I said, man, we're gonna find a way to work together. He was so impressed with Sarah. He goes, man, he's the same brother that sent you the video clip of this trailer for that karate movie, the Black Karate movie.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's him. And I said, man, cause he plays my pops, voicing him in the movie. I said, hey, man, I believe in father and son should work together. My son is in the movie. I know you're close with your son. Q has a great relationship with his boys. And I'm the kind of person, I believe in empowering father and son. I said, man, I'll be honored. You're already playing my pops. Let's just do a throwback scene, a flashback where you're being my dad and have your son play me as a little kid.
Right.
But that's my homeboy Cyrus, man. You're going to hear more about him when this movie drops next year. But dude is dope. And like me and you and Q, we just learned to develop a brotherhood over YouTube. I said, man, look, I want your face in the film, because he has that deep voice with that East Coast accent.
Right.
He's a handsome dude. The ladies are all on him. So man, yeah, go ahead and be in my movie, man. Help me get some more females on my corner to watch the film.
Yeah. To me, that's a dope ass scene too, because I think it's very important to show Black fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't get a whole lot of that, and of course, the negative stereotype is there's not a lot of Black fathers in their kids' lives. So to see that scene in there, to me, was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So I just love seeing father and son dynamic. You know what I mean?
Man, thank you. Like any Black male who's a father, like myself and you and the other people that I mentioned previously, that scene was crucial, because no matter the circumstances, Black fathers stick to their sons. Go, hey man, you going through something? I get it. Maybe I'm the cause of what you're going through, but I'm here for you. And that was important, because he had the weight on his shoulders, knowing what he was way back then. So when that flashback comes up, and you go back to the previous conversation, we're on the phone talking, it has a lot more depth to it. And my man Cyrus and his son delivered that scene, man. It was beautiful. And for him, he said, man, it made him choke up, because he was talking from the heart. Man, me and your mom used to bring you here when you was little to this park. Man, that's kind of a true story. So to relive that and put it in the film and capture it. And I told him, look, this scene, you're going to write it, you're going to film it, I'm going to step back. I gave him the premise, what I wanted, but that whole language you hear, he wrote that himself and coached his son and shot that in one day.
Yeah, no, it was dope, man. You could see it. You could see the sincerity, through the camera. The camera doesn't lie, man. So that performance, I bought it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even see it as an actor. It looked like he was really feeling what he was saying. So good job, both of me. The kid too.
Yeah,
both
definitely
did a great job.
Yeah, his son's name is Saeed. So we see his name in the
Saeed.
credits. That's his son, Saeed. That's a dope
Saeed.
name too.
Okay, yeah, that's a dope ass name. What's your name, man? Saeed, nigga. Don't get it twisted, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, dude's name Saeed, something like they'll fuck you up, right? Yo,
Yeah, all the ladies be on him. All the ladies be on that name. Saeed. Oh, girl, go stop it, ladies, stop it.
Shit, yeah, that's a cool ass name, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, what would your estimate the budget was?
Man, I probably spent. Man, if I spent $500 to make this movie, if that, maybe $500 was part of my budget.
$500. Shit.
Told you, man. I didn't have to travel. I stayed in Sacramento. So my crew, I fed everybody. So I didn't have to pay them. I got to this point in my life where people want to work with me for free. But man, I just want to be in your movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. So I take people and I coach them as far as acting and stuff like that. And I fed everybody handsomely. We grubbed, hot wings, chicken, the whole nine. And the costume was probably half the budget to get that thing made. And other than that, man, I was blessed. The people that came from out of state, the lady that plays Gloria, in real life, she works for the airlines. So she goes, I can fly there for free and get the hotel. We'll film the scene, blah, blah, blah. So man, I saved a ton of money.
Yeah, man,
and then I bought a brand new phone to film this movie, the iPhone 13 Pro, but I gave it to my daughter. I didn't keep it for myself. That was $1,200. So if I want to include that into the budget, yeah, it's almost $2,000. But that was more of a birthday present for her. I'm like, I'm using that goddamn phone for this movie.
Like, happy birthday, baby. Hold on, I need to borrow just for a couple days. I'm gonna give it back. Hey, we can do that, right? I do it to my daughter all the time, man. I do it. Like I get my baby son, be like, especially when it comes to food, be like, let me get a bite of that. Dog, that look, I paid for it, right? Give me a bite of that shit. But,
I made you and I made the money. Yeah, come on.
That's right, girl. I brought you in this world. I shot you out my nuts. You better show some respect.
Yeah. So if I add that phone to the budget, yeah, it's easily almost over $2,000 to make this movie.
Bro, like, okay, so when he asked that question, I estimated just from looking at it and what you was able to do, I said at least like $5K. So the fact that it was under like $2,000, man, that's incredible. I thought at least $5K budget. Man,
easily, man. If you take if you got good editing equipment, you can make everything look better in post.
Right.
And I shoot my best like live action. If you get it live action and use very little editing tools later on, it just looks great. But man, you got to take the time to really look, get the shot and focus. And I don't use a lot of equipment, man. A lot of the stuff you see, I'm not even using a tripod. That's a handheld. I'm going like this with a steady hand, Kids, don't do drugs or your hand is shake. Steady hand.
well, I drink. So if I try to hold the camera steady, I'm like this. Yeah, that's what drinking cheap liquor in your 20s will do to you. It'll make your hand shake. God
so
dang.
My homeboy Cyrus, when I told him what my budget was for Sarah, and then this week goes, man, you got to teach me how to do that Blacktastic method because I can shoot a great movie for cheap. That's why I told Blumhouse, if you're listening, if you give me $5 million, you can make that back the first weekend fucking with me.
Yeah,
man. You know what I do with $5 million, brother? Because I would never hire a high-paid actor or actress. That's step one. I don't need Tom Cruise to be in my movie. I don't need Angela Bassett. Give me some nobodies, and I will make them somebody. And I learned that from Spike Lee. Spike Lee took nobodies. Later on, they become Oscar winners, the Halle Berrys of the world and stuff like that. Spike Lee creates actors. So I pride myself on that. Give me a bunch of nobodies. If the script is cool, trust me, you can make your money back the first weekend messing with me.
Dang, I hear that, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean, so obviously you're a veteran now. This is your fourth film. You're considered a veteran. So in making this, bro, in making this, what would you say was your biggest obstacle or obstacles like your biggest challenges were like, was there any moment where you were like pulling your hair out like, man, what the fuck? How are we gonna do this?
Yeah, man. Number one was the werewolf. I already started shooting the film. I was a couple of months. I was 3 months invested. I didn't know what the werewolf was going to look like. And so I'm like, man, that was the scariest thing. When I finally got the right thing, that was the biggest load off my shoulders. And then, as you know, there's a scene in the movie that's like a backyard boogie. Well, it was supposed to be 20 people there, and everybody showed up. It was all together, but trying to direct 20 people, and you got kids, you got adults. That was like crazy because it was on July the 9th. I never forget that day. For one, it was my son's birthday, and two, it was 106 degrees outside.
Ooh, Lord.
So people are irritable. And when you're a director, you got to learn how to talk to people and keep them motivated. And, hey, I know it's hot. I'm sorry, but hey, I purposely filmed this part to have food and drinks available. So go ahead, be hydrated. Make sure you get something to drink in you. Let's go ahead and shoot this scene. And all the daytime scenes in the heat, brother, it was 106 degrees.
Ooh,
those were the two hardest parts, getting that costume made and shooting with, you got to control over 20 people in the scene. That was tough.
Yeah, but you pulled it off, man, because that was one of the things that made me nervous before I hit play. I was like, okay, this is a werewolf movie on a tight budget. I said, damn, I said, if the wolf looks bad, I'm gonna have to tell him. Because, bro, you know me, man. Even though I fuck with you, bro, I have to keep it a buck, man. You know, I have to call it out. I can't help it, you know. So I'm like, if this wolf looks terrible, I'm gonna have to tell him. And so right before the reveal, like, I'm not spoiling anything, but right before the reveal, I was like, when I saw the wolf, I said, shit. All right, good.
Yeah, man. That was
I took a sigh of relief. I said, okay, cool. I ain't got a shit on this. All right, yeah.
I was nervous. I didn't know what I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want it to look janky, and of course, shooting at night, the wolf made it even better. But man, when I got that costume made, I'm like, this is dope. And I did like a test screening, and again, I sent it to Q. If Q gave me the blessing, then I know I did right. And Q said, dude, you don't need me no more. You got your wolf. I'm like, what? He goes, dude, you did it. So I did some test screenings. I was testing. I'm like, oh, this is gonna look dope. And I love the design, man. How the hair went back with the big ears, big ass menacing teeth. So I was so proud of it. I went ahead and put it into marketing. So when you start seeing that wolf pop up and posters on Instagram, that's exactly what the werewolf looked like. I told myself.
Exactly. I was surprised. I was like, because I thought it was just like a drawing or something, but I'm like, oh, that's how the wolf actually fucking looks.
That's a picture of the wolf, and I kind of like superimposed it. So what I did, I kind of took a page out of Steven Spielberg's book, Jaws. Everybody knows what a shark looks like.
Right.
And the poster, the lady swimming across the water and that big old shark is coming up the knee. I said, I'm gonna be ballsy and go ahead and show the wolf in the marketing, so they know what it looks like. So they're not trying to guess what it looks like. And I took a page out of Jaws. You hear the wolf, you feel his presence, you see the blood, you see the reactions, kind of like Jurassic Park. You see everybody's reactions before you see the dinosaur. And another thing about Steven Spielberg, he didn't have an idea if them dinosaurs even going to work. And he was already halfway through production. So you got to trust your crew. You got to trust your crew. Once the costume was made, I'm like, oh man, I want to do reshots, all kind of stuff, just to have the wolf in there more. But I'm like, you know what? I still got the costume. I still got the contacts. If I ever want to do a sequel, I can show the wolf a whole lot more if I want to next time around.
Yeah, no, well, bro, like it was very effective because it's not so much like the design, but also how you do it, how you film it. So yeah, you definitely took a page out of Spielberg's book because a lot of it was build up. A lot of it was build up, and so it's not so much what you see, it's what you hear, and let your imagination run wild. So there was some things where you don't see it, it's off screen, but like just hearing the crunch and then the blood is like in my mind, I'm thinking a total mauling, and it scares me even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's built up, and then by the time you get to the wolf, it's like, shit. It's a perfect formula. You didn't try to reinvent the wheel. You just used what worked, and it worked for your film. You know what I mean?
And then when you see the wolf and how big the teeth are, you're like, oh yeah, he fucked them people up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He fucked them
up beyond
up.
recognition. If you
Yeah.
need a big ugly white guy, I'll be really, dude. you gonna be the token white guy.
Yeah. Well, we'll use you. You're gonna die in the opening credits. We're gonna reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there. How you doing? Oh shit. Oh.
He's like, oh my God, no, he wasn't ready. Okay, Jamie from in the front row here to show love, Rashad. Where can we watch this? Werewolves. All right, so the movie drops October 27th on Blacktastic Media's channel.
That's right.
So when the time comes, just in case you forget, I'm gonna drop that link so everybody can check it out. Do you plan on having a watch party for that? Are you gonna like do it live like you did with Sarah?
It's gonna be a live watch.
It's gonna be live. That's why I'm in a live watch.
Yeah, so it'll be a premiere. So I'll be able to chat with you inside the chat room. But hey, man, come to the channel, subscribe, so you'll get notifications when it drops. But it's gonna drop the 27th of October, and most likely midnight my time, East Coast, probably 3 o'clock in the morning around that time, and boom, it'll be ready.
Okay. And by the way, I did drop Blacktastic's channel link in my description right now. So if you haven't already, click on that. What the hell was I gonna ask? Oh, okay. So like Spielberg, okay, since we're on the subject of Spielberg, he's one of your influences. So you use the Spielberg method of building tension and then the reveal, the payoff. Okay. Right. So like Spielberg, while you were filming this, did you also have that idea of, okay, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna try to give the audience just one more scare. If I can just get one more scare in there or one more thing to fuck with the audience, you know what I'm saying? Something that's not in the script, that wasn't an original idea, but it's like, maybe if I can get one more kill. Did you have any moments like that where you're just doing a last minute idea and then when you watched it, you was like, shit, I'm glad I thought of that?
Yeah. Another little bump in the road I ran into, one of the actresses in the movie, some complications came up with her. She had to drop out of the project. So I had to replace and recast her. And the scene that I wrote was totally different. It was supposed to have been, since you've seen the movie, a young lady gets killed inside of her house. You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Short, curly hair. Well, originally supposed to have been a blonde woman. And her house was like computer tech, like front door open, back door. So I was going to use that as the prompt for that fourth kill. Like she could be in the kitchen cooking, all of a sudden, back door open. She gonna look, front door, so she's gonna be confused. So imagine that, and I changed it to what I did in the movie. The homegirl was on her phone, all of a sudden she heard a big old crash outside. That whole scene was not in the movie. And I kind of did that at the last minute. I lost somebody, I recast somebody. One of my friends said, man, I'm dying to be in your movie. I'm like, okay, next project, I'll keep you in mind. I'm like, whoops, guess what? You want to be in this movie right now? She was like, hell yeah. So I gave her the idea over the phone, went to her crib, shot that whole scene at her crib. And it's one of my favorite sequences in the movie because a lot is revealed for the first time during that scene, and she pulled it off. And one of the best scares is when she's sitting on the couch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And that's the moment I was talking about. I'm like, motherfucker. I said, this motherfucker got me a kid.
Got him. And that wasn't in the script originally. And I'm glad, things happen fortunately in a good way sometimes. You never know.
Yeah, well, that's got to be also the beauty of being a filmmaker is that, you don't have to go 100% by what's on the page. Like you can just be in that moment and be like, okay, let's throw this in there. Let's throw that in there. Because like with Jaws, the scene where the guy's head pops out where Richard Dreyfuss is trying to look for the shark's tooth. Yeah, so Spielberg came up with that. I don't know if you know this, but he came up with that at the last second. He was like,
I did not know that.
Yeah. He said, okay, I want to give the audience just one more scare. We need one more good scare for the audience. So they actually shot that at his pool. Yeah, they shot that at his pool. They put the prop and everything, had the guy's head pop out, and that got one of the biggest scares from the crowd. He just made that up.
Hell yeah.
On the fly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fuck with water. Yeah, it worked. But
all
definitely,
right,
man.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'll say, but definitely, man, that was a beautiful situation that came up and it worked to my advantage. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, for sure, man. Okay, so we got another one here. Top 3 movies that scare you the most.
That scare you the most or scared from the past? Yeah. That's easy. The original Candyman scared the shit out of me. Because anytime you look in the mirror and chant somebody's name and they come true, man, that's scary.
Yeah.
I used to play Bloody Mary when I was a kid.
Bloody Mary, yeah. I ain't fuck with Bloody Mary.
Yeah, so that first Candyman gave me nightmares. Of course, the first Exorcist. And there was a movie a long time ago called Magic about this ventriloquist puppet. That scared me to death. The Shining got to me. It more creeped me out than it did scare me. But what else? Believe it or not, man, I was young enough where when Thriller came out, it scared the shit out of me.
Really?
Because I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. It's Friday night videos, you know. I'm in junior high school. I'm in front of the TV like this. Hey, I seen Billie Jean. I seen B. When that motherfucker said, "Go away,"
that was it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to tell this story, Rashad. Because you know, Friday night videos came on like at midnight back in the day.
Right.
And I watched that, and when that video was over, I was at the back of the living room, curled up. And that night, I'm in the 7th grade. I felt like a man. My daddy worked late night. Mama, can I get into bed with you? I slept with my mama that night after watching Thriller, Michael Jackson. And I try to like lie. I said, "Oh, mama, you know," she goes, "What's the matter?" Because parents know their kids.
Right.
I go, man. I go, "Mama, Michael Jackson scared me, man." Because up until that point, he was just dancing and smiling.
Right.
And then he turned into a zombie. I'm like, oh, then in the part where he's like invading a home at the end.
Yeah, because he always had that soft voice, like, you know, I like you, don't you? You know, I hope you like me.
Scared the shit out of him.
And they, so yeah, I get it. Actually, you want to hear a funny story also? I'm gonna tell you how terrible of a father I am. Okay. When my daughter was, I think she was 3 at the time, right? I showed her Thriller for the first time at 3 because that's when I saw it at 3 years old, you know, when it came out. And I showed her Thriller, and she took it like a G. She watched it. She was entertained. It didn't scare her. So, of course, this is Halloween time. This is October. So I said, I wonder what else she can handle. Maybe I can take it up a level. I think you know where this is going. So after Thriller went off, she's like, "Oh, Daddy, I like that." She was still dancing. I said, "Okay, check it out." I put on the OG Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my God.
We right where she made it up until Tina, you know, when Freddie was on the alleyway and the arms were stretching. Daddy, I don't want to watch this thing. I said, "Oh shit." Yo, I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Shh." Yo. Like you know, we try to shut your little brother up because her mom was in the other room. So I'm like, shut up. He's like, I said, "It's okay. Let's go get somebody to scream." Trauma, yo, and you know what's crazy, bro? She still remembers that.
Of course she does.
She still remembers. I'm like, how the hell you remember that shit? You was 3 years old. To my no, Daddy, that was traumatizing. Yeah, I said, "Oh, girl, shit. Wait till you become a mom one day. You're gonna fuck up a couple of times too as a parent."
Yeah, OG Nightmare on Elm Street scared me to death.
Yeah.
And also, what else? That might be it. You know.
What about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? When I first saw that fucked me up.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Then so top 3: Nightmare on Elm Street, The Exorcist, and maybe, oh man, what's the
I know before you said Candyman.
Those are the top 3 right there. Those things scared me to death.
Yeah, that's
scared me to death.
That's a good list. Yeah. The Descent. I forgot what is The Descent?
That's a good movie. Them ladies went snorkeling and got into that cave where the people, there was like these creatures, they was born in the dark. They were like half bat creatures. That movie's good. That movie.
I gotta check that out.
And it's all females dealing with that movie's good. It's disturbing.
All right. Well, bro, so we've come to the end of as far as my questions go. But now I'm gonna take a page out of Nori's book, Drink Champs. I don't know if you watch Drink Champs, but I'm gonna take a page out of Drink Champs book, and we're gonna play this or that. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw something at you, then you pick one. All right, and one of them I already know because you said it earlier, but fuck it, I'm gonna ask it again because I already wrote it down. So this is the horror edition of that. All right, Freddy or Jason?
Damn, Freddy.
Okay. Laurie Strode and Nancy Thompson?
Laurie.
I hope Mike ain't watching this. Evil Dead 2 or Hellraiser?
Evil Dead 2.
Okay. The Howling or Silver Bullet?
The Howling.
All right. Lost Boys or Fright Night?
Lost Boys.
Cool, my nigga. The Thing, 82, or The Fly, 86?
The Thing.
Okay, Over the Fly?
Over the Fly,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Jaws or Jurassic Park?
Jaws.
My nigga.
Jaws,
Cujo or Man's Best Friend?
Cujo.
Annie Mills, Misery. Okay, Annie Mills, Misery, or Pearl?
Misery. Annie Mills and Misery. She told him ankles up. She told him ankles up. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Last but not least, Norman Bates or Leatherface?
Leatherface.
All right. You didn't have to take no shots. You answered all of them. Because Drink Champs, remember, they always have to take a shot. They want to answer the question.
Right.
You know, like the one with Kevin Hart drove me crazy because Kevin Hart was trying to be so conservative and just so, like Jay-Z and Nas. I like Nas because of this, and I like Jay-Z because of that.
Answer the question.
Just answer the question.
Yeah.
Damn, you're so worried about who's gonna, I don't know. I guess when you reach a certain status and you pick something over somebody, they'll come at you on social media or whatever. But
he got to be careful. If he diss one of them, he might be a subject in their next rap song getting dissed. You never know.
Yeah. And then Kevin Hart's pretty easy to diss, so just talk about his height. I mean, I could have dissed. I mean, if me and Kevin Hart have a roasting match, he'll slaughter me all day. But I mean, the average rapper would fucking kill him.
Yeah.
All right. But bro, this has been a great time doing this, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to come and talk to me on the channel.
This was dope.
Yeah, and put your movie out there, man. I can't wait for people to see it, bro, because I don't know if I said it earlier, but I love this film. This is your best
man, thank you.
Your best work to date. And I tell the truth, man, like, because I think one of your movies I gave a B+ to. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it blood raw with you, bro. This movie was the shit. It scared me a couple of times. The scene with the father and the son, I loved it. Almost got me emotional.
Nice.
So I gave it an A on my review. So I can't wait for you all to watch it. It drops October 27th on Blacktastic channel. So if you haven't already, subscribe. I left the link in the description. Subscribe to the channel so you can be one of the first ones to check it out when it drops October 27th.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So I don't know if I asked you this, but are we going to get a sequel? Is there a part 2 in that brain of yours somewhere?
It's funny you mention that, brother. After watching your review, you were the first person to mention it.
Okay.
And then Q doubled on that and said, man, I want more of this. So I can honestly say there's already a treatment already written. And I talked to my man Cyrus, who played my father in the film, and said, man, I'm not into sequels. He goes, dude, this would be dope. Because everybody that survived in this one already got the script written. So there's a more than 80% chance I'm doing a sequel to this one. More than an 80% chance.
Nice. Well, I look forward to seeing it, man. And I know you're gonna knock it out the park again because each project you get better, man. So I can't wait to see what you do in the future. You know what I'm saying? So great job on this, bro. Great job.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So with that being said, thank you all that's been watching and asking questions. I appreciate all y'all. Hope I have to read this one here. I have a leg bigger than Kevin Hart. See? Kevin Hart's so easy to fucking insult. Yeah, Cool to the Fools Part 2, please. Yes. So it's in demand. It's in demand. The people have spoken. Bigger budget, bigger kills. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even have them go up against a rival werewolf or something. Shit, I don't know.
Well, You seen the film? There is another werewolf. You already know that.
I don't know where there are no spoilers.
Okay.
Oh man. All right, my man. Well, I'm gonna let you head out so you can finish watching Cowboys. Are they winning, by the way, or are they lost already?
They're up. It's 10-9 Rams.
Okay.
But we have the ball, so we might be kicking a field goal or something. So we're in the game. We're in the game.
All right. Well, by the way, I hate the Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan, so
I know.
we're rivals. You know what I'm saying? So fuck the Cowboys.
Well, y'all only lost one game, but that was to us.
Yeah. Every year it goes back and forth, man. Some years
sure
we
does.
have y'all numbers, some years y'all have ours, man. That's that's the beauty of being in the same division.
Yeah, but the Giants look good, man.
Oh no, thank you. Hopefully we know Saquon can stay healthy and we can do something,
Should be a good year.
If it's any consolation to you, I hate the Eagles more than the Cowboys. So
of course.
Yeah.
And I'm a big baseball fan. I'm a Dodger fan. So the playoffs started this weekend for the wild card. So hopefully the Dodgers can pull it off, be world champs again, man. They look strong this year. So I'm looking forward to watching the baseball playoffs.
Nice. All right, man. So we got Blacktastic Media here. Rashad G signing out. See you on the next video.
Peace.